Good morning, my friends. This is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. It is a warm day, but I decided to sit outside and just enjoy the weather, and the water is running, and I just love being out here. And this morning I was asked to go and speak to the fifth graders. This had been a very busy weekend for us. We had 2 funerals, then we had a wedding that was such a celebration and such joy to celebrate with Jenna and Manning, and Jenna's parents, Steve and Jen. Terry had married them almost 30 years ago, and now you did the wedding of their daughter, and it was such a beautiful time. And then church Sunday morning, a celebration of all that God has done. So Monday was just a very tired day. We felt tired and weary, but the Lord has refreshed us. And this morning, Sunday morning, a teacher asked me if I would go to 5th grade and do their Bible class this morning. And this was the story that came up. And I just love this story because we need to see it fresh and new today. And that's what happened to me, and I want to share it. It's in chapter 6 of John, and it says, "After these things, Jesus went over the Sea of Galilee, which is the Sea of Tiberias, and a great multitude followed him because they saw his miracles. And Jesus went up into a mountain and was teaching them. But when he sat down and he lifted up his eyes, he saw the multitudes. He turned to Philip and he said," knowing, it says in verse 6, Jesus knew what he would do, but he still asked Philip the question, "Philip, where shall we buy bread that all these may eat?" And I just love that. Jesus knew what he was going to do. He knows already. He knows everything about you. He knows every need you have. He knows your situation. He hears you when you call him. And he still asked Philip, "What shall we do?" And because I just love that he wanted to include Philip in the miracle, because Philip said, even if we buy 200 penny worth of bread, it is not enough to realize there was a need here, but we couldn't feel that need. This is what Jesus was doing, letting them know there is a need. They couldn't do anything about it. Only God could supply that need. And so Simon Peter quickly comes and says, "Well, there's a little boy here, and there's nobody," it doesn't even say his name or his mom's name, that packed that. When I was standing there watching the 5th graders come in, I saw somebody carrying Nutella, and I said, "Hey, Nutella for lunch," and that's exciting. And this little boy had 5 barley loaves and 2 fish. It's so clear. There is a purpose here that it says 2 small fish. So he had this and he gave it, but the place that the miracle happened was in the hands of Jesus. That's what it was, because Jesus took the loaves, and when he had given thanks, the miracle happened. He started giving it out, and the disciples started feeding them. And it says there were 5,000. Only the men were counted. So there were women and children there. We know that because this lad was there. And so all of them were filled. He turned to his disciple and he said to them, "Let's pick up the fragments so nothing will be lost." And they picked up 12 baskets full of the leftovers. And that's just so amazing to me, because he is the God of Ephesians 3:20, who is able to do far above, exceedingly beyond what we ask or think. What we ask or think, God is able to do. And this is what happened here. Jesus fed them all, yet there was also leftovers, and leftovers of 12 baskets. And we know now that this God of ours, when we put things in his hands, miracles happens. The best place we can put our lives. For God so loved the world that he gave his son, that whosoever believes in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. And we can place our hand, our hearts, our lives into the hands of Jesus. At the same time, he takes it, multiplies it, and blesses not only us, but he makes us blessings. And there will be so many things that the Lord will do far above, exceedingly beyond what we can even ask or think. So let's come to the Lord today, whatever situations we're facing today. Let's put our lives in his hands. Let's ask him, because he knows what he's going to do. But let's ask him. He wants us to ask. He wants us to know he is God, to be still and know that he is God, and he is able to do far above, exceedingly beyond what you and I can even ask or think. And so the miracle of his hands, let his hands touch us. Let his hands touch our families, our children, our loved ones, everyone that needs a touch today. Say, Lord, reach forth your hand, your miracle working hand, and touch them. And he will do what we can't even imagine. God is able to do what we are asking, far above, more than that. So be blessed today, knowing we serve an amazing God.